There was an excerpt I've been wanting to make for a long time, and I got to dig it up, figure out where it's at. It's from, I believe, the Holy Grail workshop, which is an excellent workshop, where she's talking about, I don't know if it was the Essenes, what part it was. Seems like it's around the Bible times or before. There was, obviously there's been the bioregenesis project for all these different fallen groups, Anunnakis and everything. And I don't know which particular group. I'm thinking it was Elohim Anunnaki or some kind of this fallen lineage. But they were intermingled and I guess put in contracts or relationships with the Christic lines, and it got to a point where she was saying that doing the Maharic Shield was bothering these groups, and they started talking their partners out of doing the Maharic Shield and saying, "Oh, it hurts me. It's too much. Like, why don't you slow down on that and let's take it easy. You don't need to do that every day." And that's how infiltration began, and that's how we lost our codes. So, going back to that, I would really say that history does repeat itself, and I'm looking more and more. Me and Lisa have been committed to doing this now, to doing SkyPod once a week, and we've noticed the changes, in having a regular time set aside for frequency accretion. It's very noticeable in our lives. So that is something that is, as we're accreting more frequency, it's becoming noticeable of, the stopping doing the Maharic Shield as much, or whatever technique you're doing. That's relevant to my analogy here, I guess. But it's starting to become noticeable of people that are on the same frequency page and the ones who are not. It's amazingly to witness these times, because it literally has come down to what you are carrying in your template, what codes at any given time that are on and resonating, and what level of yourself that is wanting to be protected right now, that is wanting that and understands that I'm not protected, and I need to humble myself and be open enough to admit that I'm a mess. There is some humility involved with this. There is some humble spirit that's involved with approaching any of this, I guess. Even for people that have never heard of any of the sci-fi stuff coming in, they've got to kind of lower themselves and say, wow, this is one woman that's doing all this. This group is kind of following this one woman's advice, her story that she's given everybody. Well, there's another level of humility involved with this, that yes, she is still carrying her line, and yes, this is the highest protection of frequency available on the planet right now. There's a level of humility involved with that, with accepting that. I've gone through it. Many others have gone through it. Some people are still going through it, of accepting it and trying to sort it out. And that's okay. I don't know that everybody is going to come along. I don't know that everybody needs to come along at this point. But, and it's not about that. I'm not a good weatherman. I'm not trying to make forecasts on what's going to happen to who and what and stuff. But just to clarify that if you're coming into this group, a friend this morning used the word furnace, and that's not too far off the bat. That you're kind of walking into an infirmary at this point, because there's a lot of mixed up energies involved in this group at this point. There's a lot of agendas, there's a lot of obvious agendas, and there's a lot of less obvious agendas that are taking place. And even when I came in back in 2009, 2010, there was some of that going on back then. I was very active on the E group, making posts, and commenting and just really eager to get to know the family and the Shield and everybody. And, I received quite a few messages of that nature of, well, this is really going this way. She says this, but it's really going this way, or it's, this isn't true, or this part, and just, there's always going to be that. In any group setting, I think it's just the distortion that we carry that we're still trying to sort out. It's a lack of resonance and still hanging out type thing. If it doesn't resonate, you really shouldn't partake in it. You shouldn't be there. And that's becoming increasingly important these days, that we're aware of the people that are still hanging out and trying to sway. Push and pull came up a while ago. The push and pull, the Shield stuff. I don't want that in our space. I don't think newcomers deserve that. None of us deserve that. We all deserve to have a safe space to gather. And that's all that I'm trying to present in any of the groups that I run, including Chaos Perspectives, which is by far the most lenient, I guess would be the word, or broad spectrum as far as boundaries and what's allowed people to share and go back and forth on stuff and try to resolve things or figure out stuff for themselves, discern things. But again, newcomers and SkyPod is our focus groups, and that's for people that have already, either newcomers coming in, wanting to try it on for size, see if the glove fits, or for people that have already made the decision to move forward in making a real effort to bridge the old work and the new work and a real understanding of external and internal creation and are sincere about it. So, we'll see what we can co-create here. All right, I think that's about it. Thanks for listening.